Visiting Wilkes County on business or pleasure? Stay in Wilkesboro at the Holiday Inn Express, Hampton Inn, or Red Roof Inn and Suites. Enjoy Southern hospitality, cozy rooms, and a complimentary breakfast. Explore the mountains and then relax with us. You've earned it. Closed captions for this episode of Life in Wilkes is brought to you by Deal Insurance Agency in Wilkesboro, an award-winning, experienced, family-owned and operated agency with service and coverage that goes above and beyond expectations. Join us on a captivating journey as we explore the charm, history, and vibrant culture of Wilkes County. Discover the hidden gems, inspiring stories, and remarkable people that make Wilkes a place worth knowing and celebrating. Join us now and experience the unique essence of Life in Wilkes.
Johnnie Taylor, good to see you, sir.
Good to see you.
Now, your name is synonymous with a lot of thoughts around the public library. The ladies over there had brought your name up because of the Veteran History Project, of which you're a veteran. We'll get to talking about that in a few minutes. But in the books, you're not only in one, but you're in both of them. Yeah. And the interesting thing about your life is that there have been many chapters of your life, and you've always used your voice in all of them, haven't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's talk about that journey. Where were you born, sir?
Born in McGrady, North Carolina.
Okay. When were you born there?
Whoa, where was I born?
Yeah, well, when?
Oh, okay, when, okay. June the 29th, 1936.
1936. Well, that'll help those who can count figure out how old you are.
You can't be late when you're 88.
That's right. You definitely don't want to. What was life like for you growing up in McGrady as a little boy?
Well, I had it pretty good. My dad had one of them old battery powered radios, and he wouldn't let me and my little sister, he wouldn't let us mess with it.
Okay.
Wouldn't let us turn it on and listen to it. And my daddy was outside. We'd slip around and turn that radio on.
Right.
And try to listen to some music.
Right.
That's where I started playing. I'd once in a while I'd get a little music on the radio, and I'd get one of my mama's pots.
Right.
I'd turn it upside down and keep time on the back of it.
Oh, so you were learning to be a percussionist from day one then.
Yeah.
Right, okay.
And, when I got old enough, I finally got a hold of a banjo. Well, there's a boy made me a banjo out of, and the hide on it was made out of groundhog hide.
Wow. So
took a groundhog hide and tanned it and made the head out of it.
So tell me, how long did it take to get from beating on the pot to having a groundhog head banjo?
Oh, well, 2 or 3 years, I guess,
okay.
Something like that.
So you were still young.
Yeah, I started young.
Okay.
And that's, well, I mean, really, in fact, that's about all I know is music. And I've been in it about all my life.
Right.
And
was there a moment when your father realized that you hadn't been sneaking around listening to the radio?
I don't know, but if he called us, it was on. If he called us doing it, it was on.
So he did catch you doing it a few times?
No, he didn't catch us.
He didn't?
When we seen him coming in, we'd run and turn it off real quick.
So you knew it would have been bad.
Yeah.
You didn't even just the thoughts of it. Yeah. That's great. So did your sister, was she musically inclined as well?
Yeah, a little bit, not a whole lot. She played piano a little bit.
Okay.
And
you remember your first song you played?
Yeah, I do.
What was it?
My uncle bought him a RB 250 Master Tone Gibson banjo. That's one of the best.
Mm.
And I heard he had it, and that was after I got my the boy made me a homemade banjo. And I heard he had it, and then I went over there one day to see him. I said, I heard you had a new banjo. He said, yeah, I got one. I said, could I mess with it a little bit? He said, yeah. I said, you can mess with it a little and play it a little bit if you want it, or mess with it. And I said, well, I'll not drop it. I'll keep it good. And he said, well, okay, just don't drop it. And I got a hold of that banjo. About 30 or 40 minutes, I was playing Going Up a Cripple Creek, and I had never played Cripple Creek before till I got that banjo.
How did you know how to play it?
I'd heard the Cripple Creek on the radio.
Okay.
And I didn't know how, but some of the people that was there said, you playing Cripple Creek? I said, well, I am. I said, yeah. They said, yeah, you're playing Cripple Creek. And from then on, I knew that I was born to play music.
Obviously.
And I played all my life, and that's about all I know, really.
How has music impacted your life?
I've always wanted to get out on the road and play with people, and I was playing at the old WKBC radio station. You know where it's at?
Sure.
Okay. I was down there one day. That's after I started playing. I got pretty good on the banjo, and L.W. Lambert was down there, banjo player. I don't know if you knew L.W., but he's from down in Olin, North Carolina. He passed away a few years ago. He was down there. He said he'd come up to me and he knew I'd started playing and maybe good enough to play with, with somebody. And he said, I got a telegram from Mac Wiseman. Want me to come and play the banjo for them. They need the banjo player. And I said, I can't go. LW said, I can't go. She said, my wife just said a young'un, and I got to stay here with her and help look after her. And he looked at me and he said, would you like to have the job? I said, yeah, I'll take it. If they'll have me. If they'll have me, I'll take it. And I got a hold of Mac, and I went out to Virginia and met him out there, and I got the job.
Wow.
I was good enough to get the job.
Well, that changed your life, didn't it?
Yeah, it did. And I worked with him for, I forgot how long it was now, but I worked with him a while. Of course, when I first got out of the service, let me go back to the service. But when I got out of the service, I met Charlie Monroe's booking agent in Winston-Salem. Talking to him.
Wait just a minute. Let's back up to when you got to hold that thought. We'll get back to that, though, because that's important. But tell us about how you got into the military. What were the things that led up to that point?
The military?
Right.
Well, I really don't know, except I just got a hankering to go into the military.
Right. How old were you then?
18 years old.
Okay.
And so I went into the military, and we had a real good bluegrass band. I mean, I think it was tops. And played with them. I was playing NCO clubs,
sure,
PX, and all kinds of stuff. That's about all we did was play.
So you were when you were in the military, while you were there to fight if you needed to, you were primarily playing music, entertaining the service folks.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you know that was important? Could you tell that was important to do?
Yeah, I really did. But the people I played with was There was about 5 or 6 of us, and every one of us was from different states. There wasn't one of us from the same state. And we had a little fiddle player. He was from Texas, little short fella. I'll tell you right now, that boy could saw a fiddle. He was really, really good. And we had a boy from up in Tennessee. His name was Billy Mitchell. And he's the one who was leading the band. And he was really good too. He was a good singer. But anyway, that's about all we done was play music. We didn't do nothing much more, anything else except that.
So that was that your detail? Was that something we had to do it more than just socially while you were in the military? That was what you were appointed to do. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. When they'd have something special going on, they'd always get us to play, and that was really good. I really liked that, and I kept in touch with some of the boys after I got out of service, especially Billy Mitchell. I kept in touch with him for a while, and I found out that he turned to be an evangelist. That's all he was doing, was traveling around through the country in evangelistic work. And I hadn't heard from him in a long time. I don't know if he's still living or what, but I hadn't heard from him in quite a while.
But that was an important part of your life, right?
Yeah, it was.
So you were serving your country, and you were able to do that with a big part of that being music.
Yeah. Oh, a big part of it was music.
Did that help you understand how important music is?
Yeah, it really did. It really did.
How'd that frame your thoughts? In other words, you were enjoying it, but you saw what it did for the people who were there, and did you place value on the fact that they were being distracted from the worries and woes, and you were helping them celebrate?
Well, yeah, a whole lot. And you could tell if people are enjoying anything by watching them.
Right.
By watching the expression on their face and the things like that, you can tell if they're enjoying it. And I don't reckon we ever played for a group of people that didn't enjoy it.
So you were scoring 100 then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was.
Not all musicians get to do that, do they?
No.
Yeah. No. All right. Well, let's talk about the. So your music career followed you into, or did it follow you into the military, or did that really launch you into music? Because there you were doing it formally.
I guess I just had a hankering to go into the military.
Right.
And I guess after I got in there, I really wanted out.
Right. So you had a hankering to get in.
Then
you played some.
To get out.
It happens. But you're the good part of it is you love playing music, and you made some new friends.
I'll tell you what, I'll never forget them boys that I played with though. I mean, they was good musicians, all of them. And every one was from a different state.
Right.
Different. Yeah, I really enjoyed it.
There was a moment that you got notified you're getting out of the military. So what were your thoughts and plans at that moment?
After I got out?
Yeah.
Well, really, I don't know if I even had the thoughts about anything.
Right.
I just wanted out. But I enjoyed it. Now, they offered me, I believe it was, I've forgotten how many $1,000 they offered me if I'd re-enlist.
Right.
But I told them I didn't want no more of it. I had enough. And But anyway, the boy was heading the bluegrass band. He begged me to stay in, and they guaranteed me if I'd stay in, I wouldn't never have to do a thing except play music. Guaranteed me a special work that I'd never have to do anything else but play. I said, nope, I don't. I want to get out and go home.
Yeah. So you were missing home.
Yeah.
Missing home and all your friends. So that was your. So back a little bit before you got in the military. So that was when you were really validated, right? These are people that said, "Hey, you were playing with people around the country. They were good. You were good." And your superior saw it and said, "Hey, we want you to stay around for a long time." You said no, but that really wasn't the first time you've been paid, because you were 18 then when you got in. But when you were 16, weren't you playing in bars and getting paid for that as well?
Yeah, I was 16, 17 when I was out on the road.
Right. So that got you started with the band.
Me started.
Okay. All right. So that got you started, put you in a mindset somehow of wanting to go into the military, and you did. And then now you're back out as a civilian. So what was life like for you as a civilian just getting out of the military and getting back home? What was step one?
Well, everything just flared up, I guess.
Right.
And when I got out, it seemed so good to get out. Seemed so good to be able to do what I wanted to do instead of doing what they wanted me to do. And, of course, you know how it is when you're in the military. You've got to go by the rules. If you don't go by the rules, you might wind up in the stockade.
Things might not go well.
I wouldn't want that.
Right. So now you're back home. Family's welcoming you home, and you get back on the road again, right? Talk about that journey and how that went.
While I was in the military, I got a telegram from Wilma Lee and Stoney Cooper, Grand Ole Opry. Want me to come and play on the opera. So my mama kept the telegram and wouldn't show it to me until they got out of service.
She knew you'd be.
She was afraid I'd go AWOL.
Would you have?
No, I wouldn't. No. I knew the consequences. So
that would have probably been true if you'd gotten that telegram. You would have wanted. I
may have, but I don't know. But see, that gave me the chance to get to be on the opera, Grand Ole Opry.
Right. So your mother saved you from AWOL and maybe having to stay in the military.
She wouldn't show me the telegram until I got out of service.
Right.
Then she showed it to me.
So she didn't say, "I got something you need to see." She didn't even speak about it until you were home. Oh, son, here's something.
She didn't say nothing until I got out.
She knew you well. Yeah. When you were in your 20s, what else was special about that time period?
Well,
you'd gotten out of the military. You were home.
I guess I was wanting to go dating around, which I met my wife when I was 24.
Were you playing music when you met her?
Yeah, I was playing. And I told her then, I said, "You know that I play music now. And I don't want nobody to bother me and try to keep me from playing, because that's all I know." And she said, "Well, I ain't going to bother you. She said, you can play your music." So we dated a while and finally got married. And we'd been together 62 years until 2 years ago I lost my wife. And that's been the hardest thing I've ever went through. And she never did try to stop me from playing. She always urged me on, and she said, "Well, you know what you got to do."
And you went and done it.
I said, "Yeah, I do." Yeah.
Did you ever write some music just for her? Did you ever write a song for her?
Yeah, I got a song that I'm working on now for her. I wrote one of the last songs I wrote was called "Bring It On," and she inspired it. And she got up one morning, she went in the kitchen, and she said, "The sun is shining and it's cool and quiet." I said, "There's me a song."
Perfect lines, right?
Yeah. So I wrote the song and called it "Bring It On." It's a gospel song, what it is. And I wrote probably, if I had them all together, I guess I wrote 75 or 100 songs. I don't know, but I wrote a bunch of them.
So those are the songs you've written, but music, playing music on stage, that would be countless. But you also, we're just teasing a few of the many things that you've done. Commercially, you have quite the reputation as being a jingle master.
Well, I don't know what you call it, but I can write about anything I want to.
Mm-hmm.
If I sit down and do it, I can write it.
How many commercials over the years do you think you've done?
I don't know. I've done quite a few for WKBC.
Right.
In fact, I'm working on a jingle right now.
Is that right?
Yeah. I've got it ready to record. It's for some people that runs a cafe up on 18.
So you're gonna what's their specialty?
They got a deli, they got some old timey stuff in there, and they got gas, they got all kinds of stuff.
Right.
I mean, it's if you go in there, you'll see a lot of old timey stuff too.
You got one of your favorite jingles? Some you've done that people recognize you for?
Steve Handy, I've worked with him, WKBC, quite a while, and I've done quite a few things for him, for the station, you know.
Sure. So radio was something that became part of your life early because you were performing.
I wrote the jingle about school bus safety.
Oh.
And WKBC played it for years, and they're still playing it. WXII-TV, they picked it up. They played it for a while. And the governor, Mike Easley, that's when Mike Easley, the governor, he picked it up. He got a hold of it. And they came up here from Raleigh. And I got the highest award they got in Raleigh. They awarded me the highest award they got.
How'd that make you feel?
Oh, it made me feel good.
Because of that one jingle?
Yeah.
Can you sing the jingle?
Can I sing it?
Yeah.
Don't ever pass the school bus while it's picking up its load, 'cause you could take the life of some precious soul. God gave us our children, and we love them very much, so always think twice before you pass the stop to bus.
That's a simple but big message, isn't it?
Yeah.
You're spending your life doing things that you love to do, and all of it's around music. But you're also an orator. You like to talk. You like to tell stories. You like to share stories. You like to...
The last book I did has got a lot of stories in it. I mean, true stories, too. Could I tell you one or two of them?
If you wouldn't mind.
Okay. I was 12 or 13 years old. My mama came up to me one morning. She said, "My eggs is getting gone." I said, "Mom, what?" She said, "Yeah." I said, "I'm missing my eggs." She said, "Would you keep a watch and see if you can find out where they're going?" I said, "Yeah, Mom, I will. I'll watch." I got to watching. She came back up to me again the next day or two after that. She said, "You find out anything?" I said, yeah. Mom, I said, I found out where they're going. She said, where? I said, my daddy's eating them. And she said, what? I said, yeah. He was busting the little end out of them and pouring salt and pepper in them and downing them.
Wow.
And that's what he was doing.
The raw egg.
That's where her eggs is going.
What'd she say?
She said, I'll stop that. And she did. She stopped that.
Oh, Daddy's eating the eggs. Oh, what a great story. I love that. You got another one from that same book? That's in your book, right?
Okay, yeah, that's in the book. I'll do you another one. Okay. My brother come home one day. He'd been up in the woods. He come back to the house. He had a little possum in his hand, a little baby possum he'd found in the woods. And just so happened that my cat had kittens. And he put the possum in with the kittens, and she adopted the possum, and it started nursing her just like the kitten would. The possum was nursing the cat. And when the cat would come out of the cellar, we call it a cellar, the possum would be on the cat's back every time, hanging on. The cat come in the house one morning, and the cat got down on the floor and started rolling, trying to get the possum off his back. My mama said, she hollered real big, she said, hey, said, this cat gone crazy. Said, what? Said, yeah, it's gone crazy. Went in there and the cat was rolling, trying to get the possum off his back. Mom thought the cat had gone crazy. That was pretty good, and I thought.
Oh, that was it. And you saw that.
Yeah, yeah.
You were there. Wow.
I can tell you a whole lot of things.
Have you ever thought about, now as you look where you are in life, and there's a long way you can look back now, right? And thinking about the simplicity of that type of a life, that was the entertainment, that a radio was where you got your sounds from, and you became inspired and sneaked around and heard things you weren't supposed to hear, but it impacted your life, right?
Yeah, it did.
There's something special about that, isn't there? How do you compare and contrast life then growing up and life as you observe it today?
And life today then and life today.
Yeah, well, how do you say you live then and you're living now? So you've seen a lot of change happen.
Oh yeah, I've seen a lot of change. Somebody would have told me 50 years ago at times had changed as much as they have now, I'd have never believed it. I wouldn't have believed it. But I don't know, that's just the way it is, and life has changed a lot, and it seems like you just want to change or something with it a whole lot, but I hope my change is something good, not bad,
Among those things that you did, that you were blessed to be able to do, what do you think has been the most important?
I have tried to help people, they come to me and they want to know if I could help them maybe learn the 5-string banjo, or show them a few chords on it, stuff like that. I think that's helped a lot of people too, because I've had several people that come to me and want me to try to teach them some stuff on the banjo. If I had all the hours I spent on the banjo, I probably couldn't get in this room. But I have spent a lot of hours on the banjo, and I have helped other people with banjo. And I guess that's most important thing that I can look look back and see that I've done. And I enjoy helping people. And I also have helped them with a guitar too, so I play guitar and dobro, side banjo. It's just, I don't know, it's just a blessing to me to look back and see that.
When you share these stories with other people, you're sitting around talking like this, maybe not with cameras, but you're just sitting around talking, right? Talking about life and the journey. You're talking to musicians. You're just talking to people who want to talk. Do you think it's important that we live our lives in such a way that when we have the opportunity to engage in conversation, we do have a little something to offer of value, that's important?
Yeah, I think it's important to be able to talk to somebody, tell them about the life that I've lived and the things that I've done. I've done a whole lot of things, and it's really hard to say exactly, what I have done that people really like the most. But I've tried to help people. I always try to help them. I don't try to down nobody.
Maybe that's a good way to look at it. If you just live your life well and give what you can to society, then it is hard to pinpoint which one's the best, right?
I've had people say, "Well, you're the best banjo player I've ever seen." They say all kinds of stuff like that. But don't let it go to your head. It's not going to my head. And if I had, I wouldn't have had no head. But right. That's one thing about it. I always try to help someone. Not down them, but try to help them.
You're competent in many things, but you're also very humble.
Yeah.
And that's very evident. And when I read the pages about you in these books, in the Veterans History Project books, you don't have one page. You have multiple pages on different stages of your life. So there was a lot of things that you could talk about and say, I did this, I did that. But I talked to the people that interviewed you, and they had to kind of pull this out of you. You weren't bragging. You were just still doing what you love to do, which is share a few stories, share some music, and be kind.
Yeah.
From your perspective, you as a veteran, you as somebody who did it when you were early, how important are our veterans to our society?
Well, I think it's really important. I like to tell people I'm a veteran. I like to tell them about my musical career and stuff that I've been through. Makes me feel good to know that people really like what I was doing. And to be a veteran, I just think it's number one.
Well, Johnnie Taylor, you've had an incredible life. You're still having an incredible life. We're sitting here talking about a bit of your journey. I would imagine if we were to take our time, we could be here tomorrow at this time, because there are a lot of stories there, a lot of music. Why don't we'll make a plan to get together again, because I think there's some things there that we'd still like to talk about. But we really appreciate you coming in and talking about those early days, talking about being how you became a veteran, how you served, and just a little bit of your musical life, because there sure is a lot there, isn't there?
Yeah.
Johnnie Taylor, thank you so much for being on Life in Wilkes. You have a great story.
Well, I appreciate being on that with you, too.
Thank you for spending time with us on Life in Wilkes. We value you as a viewer and appreciate when you share the show with your friends and family. Be sure to bookmark our channel and join us again on the next episode of Life in Wilkes.